All right, how's this for spirit? Some of you might remember this lady. You may have pitched in and helped her out with some crypto. This would have been like 3 years ago-ish. Okay? 2.5, 3 years ago maybe, something like that. And I actually had her come on my show, my Realist News YouTube, and she was fighting a foreclosure that was kind of an illegal foreclosure, and like the county was in on it, and they're trying to steal her property, and I was trying to help her, you know, with the knowledge that I had about fighting it, and wasn't looking too good for her. She's in a non-judicial foreclosure state, I think, and it's harder to fight against it when that's the case. Anyways, so I had a long conversation with her. Her daughter was in a hit and run. A drug runner guy was running from the police or something, rear-ended her, pushed her into oncoming traffic, head-on collision, major hospital, got out, recovered a bit. She just told me, I just talked to her, that the daughter's like completely recovered now. But she's been wanting to call me for 2 or 3 months now, and she's like, oh no, he's got a little kid now, a little baby, and I don't want to bother him, you know. But she needs some help with crypto. She can't remember what she did with them, you know, after they left after they left Coinbase. I don't know what I did with them. You helped me, and even some of your people helped pitch in for my situation with the house at the time. It was so nice of you guys and all that. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I remember. So she sends me a text, a long text, and asks, you know, could I call her back? And she says this in the text, but then of course I talked to her. I just got done talking to her and asked her again, like, how did this all happen? So she's like, 2 or 3 months ago, I've been needing some help, trying to figure out what I did with my crypto. Some of that, you guys gave me some, and I had some, but I thought I lost it, and you helped me recover some of it. You know, I got hacked on Coinbase and all that. And I'm like, okay, yeah. So she says, I couldn't build up the courage to reach out to you. I just thought you're busy these days, you know, I don't want to bother you. She goes, I'm in the grocery store the other day. She goes, and by the way, the whole mask bullcrap, I'm with you on that. She goes, but I'm there and I'm noticing this lady is just kind of following me around, circling around me. Like, she keeps circling me. And I'm like, I can just tell there's something's up with this lady. And then finally, the lady kind of comes up, and, you know, she's keeping her distance, of course. And then this lady I'm talking to, her name is Barb. And Barb's like, you know, you can come closer. I don't care about the mask. I'm not sick. And the lady's like, okay, you know, so she got closer. She says, and she goes, Joe, I don't really believe in this stuff. I know you do, but I really don't. But I had to tell you about this. And I said, all right. She goes, this lady says to me, I have no idea who she is. Just walking in the grocery store, she starts just like kind of circling around, like she keeps looking over at me, and I can tell, like, what is it, you know? And then she just walks up and starts talking to me. She says, Spirit wants me to tell you there's somebody that you haven't spoken to in a while in your past, and you need their help with something. Spirit is telling me, call them. Pick up the phone and give them a call. They'll help you. And she's like, oh my God, I know exactly, you know, how do you know that? And she said, well, Spirit is telling me this. And she's like, wow, well, okay. And she's like, well, does Spirit have anything else to say to me? Any other information? She goes, nope. Just for you to stop, I forgot the word she used, you know, like beating yourself up, or, you know, pull up your pants and call them, you know, quit playing around and call them. Suck in your pride, you know, and call them, is what she said. And I'm like, so you don't know who this lady is? She goes, nope, never met her in my life, just walking around the grocery store. She goes, but the funny thing was, for the last 2 or 3 months, I have been sitting here telling myself, you need to call Joe. He could probably help you with this crypto. You know, you got him sitting there all this time. You never sold it like he said, like it would recover, and right now it's recovering good. And she goes, and by the way, if I can figure out what I did with them, I'm not going to sell them right now. I'm like, good, don't, because it's got some more climbing to do. But the funny thing was, Spirit came through some stranger to tell her, who I haven't spoke with since I've done that video, did that video with her, like 3 years ago, and is telling her, call him, he'll help you. So she's like, she goes, I know I was in Coinbase and we did something there, and then we like moved them off there to something. And I'm like, well, how long ago was this, do you think, that we last talked? She goes, probably about 3 years ago. I said, okay, for sure, if that's the case, I would have told you to get the Exodus wallet. You know, do you recall having a little USB device, like a hardware wallet? She goes, no, I've never done anything with that. I said, yeah, it's probably Exodus. I said, if you can find a piece of paper somewhere that you would have stored, because I would have told you to store it, it would have had your, what they call seed phrases. There's I think 18 words on there. That would be for Exodus. And if you have that, that's all we need, no matter what. And, you know, in case you don't remember your password or whatever, once you do, open up the Exodus wallet. Anyways, the only reason she called right now was because Spirit had to come through after her procrastinating for 2 or 3 months of wanting to call me. I need to call him, I need the help, but I don't want to bother him, you know. And I'm like, you should have just called. Like, how stupid, you should have just called. And it took Spirit from a stranger getting through to tell her that. So she's probably going to see this video, and I meant to say this to her on the phone. If you see that lady again, by chance, in the grocery store, you happen to see her again, give her my phone number and have her call me. I just would like to talk to her about this. This is so cool. But anyways, that's what just happened. So that is so cool.